to talk to you about a first-person shooter called Soldier of Wars. Now, I know you may be thinking to yourself, ugh, not another one of those. But I can assure you, Soldier of Wars will stand out as a unique, interesting, and very one-of-a-kind game. Now, the reason I believe this is because this will be one of the first first-person shooters that are solely in MMO, which means massively multiplayer online. And one of the unique things is that you can travel through every era of war, such as World War I, World War II, Vietnam, and many others. There will also be a mode in which you could play in the potential for World War III, or what some people call Armageddon, in a future war campaign. But that will be coming out in a patch as downloadable content in the future. Now, another thing that makes this game quite interesting is the fact that each of these campaigns and each war focuses on story elements for each campaign. Whether you choose the Allied or the Axis side, it doesn't matter. The story will unfold depending on who's winning the war and what scenarios have happened so far. So, as players play through, they could play the same campaign 8 times, but see a different type of story unfold depending on who has the advantage at certain points during the war. Now, the game will also be somewhat educational because as you complete and unlock campaigns, you will actually have a military history section, and it will provide some background as to the war, how it started, how it was concluded, and some of the famous figures that participated in the war. Now, this is very nice because a lot of teenagers and kids play these first-person shooters, so not even meaning to, unintentionally, they'll actually learn a few things about our history as well. Now, one of the things that we are really looking forward to here is that each era of war will feature authentic weapons from that war. There will also be hero characters that participate too as part of the storyline to help lead your team to victory. And there should also be a wide variety of features to customize each individual player's character. That way everyone should have a very unique character that is to their liking and everyone can be satisfied with. This game is going to be very exciting, and at this time I'm going to go ahead and turn it over for some of the specifics to come from my team members.
I hope you guys are having fun throughout this presentation. I'm here to discuss objectives, rules, and limits of this game. There are 3 objectives, and it's based on the mode of play. During the basic mode, respawning is allowed, and the objective of the basic mode is to achieve a high score. The players are timed while trying to achieve this high score during this objective. The players can also play the computer, or they could go online and play other players with the basic skill level set. During the standard mode, no respawning is allowed, but it's a team player effort. Eliminate opposing team is the objective there, and eliminate as many as you can. During the advanced mode, capturing the flag is the objective, or capturing the base or seeking and destroy the enemy. Now, let's talk about a few simple rules. No running unless under attack. You don't want to lose the rest of your platoon and then end up out there alone where you don't have any cover. No blind grenades. We really don't want to hurt our teammates by just throwing grenades just because. Aimed fire at all times. Again, don't want to hurt one of your teammates because that'll really upset a player that he has to respawn and rejoin the group. Don't use explosives as your primary weapon because it could cause a lot of damage to your team and possibly to yourself. No jumping from a high point. Do not use your pistol unless the absolute last resort after your ammunition is ran out for your rifles. And no foul language while doing online playing. We don't want to upset any other players and then they may not want to rejoin the game. So, a few simple rules and we can enjoy the game like we all need to. Now let's talk about our limits. During the multiplayer mode, 100 to 200 players. There's no time limit, and respawning doesn't have a limit either. However, during the single player mode, it's a timed objective, and respawning is limited. if we follow these few simple objective rules and limits, I'm quite sure we can have lots and lots of fun on this game. As you can see, it's hours and hours of fun. You guys have a great time enjoying the rest of this game.
Hi, this is John Masterson. I'm here to speak to you about audience and skill level of our new video game. Audience types will be military history buffs, first-person shooter gamers, both new and seasoned, and those who just happen to pick it up because it seemed interesting. Most of these will likely be between the ages of 18 and 35. They will consist of both sexes and a diverse array of ethnicities from all around the world. With the ability to play online with players all over the world, the age, gender, race, and nationality of the players will vary greatly. Skill level will range from first time playing this type of game to those who have played a great deal and are very skilled in this type of game. Skill players develop the ability to blind fire weapons, cook and throw grenades, cycle weapons faster, scavenge for ammo, and earn kill streaks more effectively than newer players. In addition, skill players will earn more points, gain levels or rank faster, and generally have much higher kill to death ratio than novice players. 68% of American households play computer or video games. The average game player is 35 years old and has been playing games for 12 years. The average age of the most frequent game purchaser is 39 years old. 40% of all game players are women. In fact, women over the age of 18 represent a significantly greater portion of the game-playing population at 34% than boys aged 17 or younger at 18%. In 2009, 25% of Americans over the age of 50 play video games, an increase from 9% in 1999. 37% of heads of household play games on a wireless device, such as a cell phone or PDA, up from 20% in 2002. 84% of all games sold in 2008 were rated E for everyone, T for teen, or E10 plus for everyone 10 and over. 92% of game players under the age of 18 report that their parents are present when they purchase or rent games. 63% of parents believe games are a positive part of their children's lives. The majority of the first-player shooter games are played on PCs. Our new video game is designed for the PC, giving us access to a large population. This means more people playing this game at various levels all around the world. We think this new game is going to be a big hit with all demographics.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Manaya Henderson, and I will be talking about the Soldier of Wars, player interactions, platform, and rationale. Player interactions. There will be interactive maps, chat room before the game starts, customizable teams, voice for the teams when in multiplayer mode online, co-op when offline, and you will be able to view members' profiles and send friend requests while waiting in the chat room. There will also be customizable characters. There is a link that can be sent via text, app, or email for tips throughout the game. There will also be a history feature, which will be a learning process throughout the game. There's also a help feature, which you can get help from a teammate throughout the game. You can also pick a specific country and become a team member of that particular country. Platform and rationale. Soldier of Wars will be available across all platforms, PC, consoles, and an app. With the app, you will be able to check your stats and look at team posts. It's free if you have an online account. Online play will require a stable broadband connection. Also, a headset would also be helpful throughout the game. An online account to access bonus maps and levels. The PC requirements, the minimum CPU Intel Core 2 Duo 2.4 GHz, AMD Athlon X2 2.8 GHz or better, 8 GB of RAM, operating system Windows 8 64-bit, video card 3 GB, AMD Radeon HD 7870, and also free disk space 30 gigabytes. Recommended PC specs: AMD 6-core CPU, Intel Core CPU or better, RAM 8 gigabytes, operating system Windows 8, 64-bit, video card 3 gigabyte, AMD Radeon HD 7870, free disk space of 30 gigabytes. Now, up next is Travis Porter.
Hello, I'm here today to talk to you today about the software development tools and resources that will be required to complete the game. There's already been a plethora of great information that you've learned so far, and I'm here to bring things on home and wrap it up and hopefully explain why any questions you may have about investments or other stakeholder questions may be answered for you here today. First off, there's a lot that goes into a video game development, especially one of the mainstream games to be released on multiple consoles and the PC. So first off, it's just like the SDLC you'll see in most business corporations, except for, of course, it's a video game. You have your pre-production, production, and post-production operations. In all three of those, different types of events will happen. For instance, in pre-production, you'll see the pitch, concept, game design documentation, and prototype announced. During production, the actual programming, level creation, art production, audio production, and other tasks related to that will happen as well. In post-production, you'll see your maintenance and patches once the game has already been released to try to correct any bugs that may have been left behind. Of course, you'll also have marketing ads near production time and post-production, and those cost money as well. And in some instances, you'll even have hundreds of team members working on the large-scale games, which can turn into quite a bit of money. You'll need designers, artists, programmers, level designers, sound engineers, and testers, to name a few of the positions. And of course, as you would imagine, sound engineers and programmers and stuff don't really come cheap most of the time. And over the years, many years ago, video games cost pennies in comparison to what they cost now. Production costs for some of the original systems, such as the Super Nintendo, were estimated around $50,000 to $300,000 for the entire project. Some games nowadays can range from $18 to $28 million, and that's still considered a small-scale type game. For instance, some games, such as the new Battlefield 4, is a $100 million budget when it was first announced to be worked on. Some of the cost that can be incurred for each video game on a standard video game, normally about $15 out of the 60 is for art and design development. About another 12 of that is programming engineering, and of course the retail fees are around $12. There are quite a bit of other smaller fees, but for the sake of time we won't get into most of those. But as you can see from the pie graph here, you have licensing fees and marketing and other small fees that really don't seem to cut in the profit margin that much alone, but together it can really make a big impact on how much the game can actually generate as far as revenue. Finally, though, the most important thing is that the return on investment is satisfied customers, because the profit margin may not be that large, but if you can generate a game that satisfies the customers and makes them want to come back for more, it'll also give you company recognition. And when you bring games out in the future, they could even be on a smaller budget, but they're likely to bring in more profits than your standard game just based off the company name alone. Also, nowadays, you're able to do micro purchases as well. And those micro purchases can really add up to a lot. You know, $1.99, $2.99 there to get a special weapon or an add-on that not just everyone has. Most people don't really think about it, but if you get 2,000 people to buy a $2.99 add-on, that's quite a bit of extra money for very minimal effort. That could have even been pre-planned in the design phase, so it's actually cost-free, and it's just almost 100% additional revenue. In the end, This video game is going to be a large success, I do believe. Many people are into first-person shooters, and yes, the production cost will cost probably around between $20 to $28 million. But the expected returns are much larger than that, and also as a upstart game company, this could be a major chance to get out there and really put our name out there with the front runners in the company today and in the business today, and hopefully before long we'll see ourselves maybe moving into the #1 position. Thank you very much.